Before we even start the video today, guys, I'm sure you've probably already noticed, but I recently just acquired something that looks really good in the background of my shot. It's pretty cool to the lore. I think it's a beautiful purchase. So let's just take a moment to kind of just take it all in. Isn't it lovely? Hey guys, it's Dredile here, welcoming you back to some Half-Life lore. It's been a while since I said that, but speaking of something green and disgusting, let's talk about Adrian Shephard. And I'll shut up, but keep talking. But what? Adrian Shephard is the main character of Gearbox's expansion for Half-Life 1 called Opposing Force. He is a pretty awesome corporal of the Hazardous Environment Combat Unit, especially trained to deal with a variety of indoor combat situations, including dangerous environments and unconventional enemies. That's basically paraphrased straight from the Half-Life wiki, but I mean, how else can I word it? They're the ninja janitors of the Marines. There. He's a 22-year-old HECU Marine of the gas mask variety. He's often depicted as holding an MP5 submachine gun, and he just kicks ass, okay? Not much is known about his character, but we do know what he does. And pre-Black Mesa, there were some very interesting things that you can find in the game manual. I'll go over it quickly. So there's pages in the manual of the Opposing Force game that reference to him during boot camp, during the opening of Opposing Force when you're training, and often he's referencing a government guy, a G-Man, a guy in a suit. And this is important because it's strange that G-Man picks him out like this, but as the days progress, in his journal, he starts talking about how the word Black Mesa is being thrown around, how they're suddenly reassigned to just focus on indoor combat. And then eventually they get straight up told that they're being trained for a mission to the Black Mesa facility. So G-Man had specifically gone to this HEC Marine camp, picked out Adrian Shephard, and set him on his way. So the events of Half-Life 1 unfurl, and the HECU is scrambled to Black Mesa to regain control and to clean out the Black Mesa research facility, aka execute and silence all victims, witnesses, and hereby etc. of the Black Mesa event. Now, as Adrian Shephard and his crew in the V-22 Osprey helicopter are approaching Black Mesa, it goes awry. They run across some alien ships and they get taken out. And they crash. And right at about this time is about when Gordon was in the questionable ethics area, maybe in apprehension. Very late into the Black Mesa incident is when Adrian Shephard arrives on the scene. So once Shephard's awake, he comes through the Black Mesa facility and receives transmissions from various HECU soldiers about pulling out. We are pulling out. Adrian Shephard finally reaches the area where they're supposed to be evacuating when he is stopped by none other than the G-Man, who closes a blast door right in his face. So that's like reaching for a Kentucky Fried Chicken leg, and your fiance is like, "Are you watching your weight, aren't you?" It's annoying. He was so close and yet so far away because G-Man had ulterior motives for him. At about this time, Adrian starts running into the Race X aliens. Now, Race X is a variety of aliens that is not a part of Zen. It's a completely different dimension. And in fact, in Opposing Force, that's the only time you ever run across a Race X reference or alien. So I have an entire video on Race X, you can check it out on my channel. After proceeding through the underbelly of Black Mesa, he ran across the first squad of Black Ops that he had come across. Now, the Black Ops had been scrambled to Black Mesa to cover up the cover-up. They were there to completely eradicate and destroy anything and everything that was Black Mesa, the people in it, the facility, using a nuclear device, a thermonuclear explosion. And he sees the Black Ops bringing in some of this equipment, and they become a contender that he then has to battle with. He's fighting against his own government, he's fighting against the Race X. Adrian Shephard had to put up with the worst of the worst that the Black Mesa incident had to offer. He put up with everything, every horror that could possibly have made its way into the planet through a vending machine.
Candy.
But really at this point in the story, Adrian doesn't have a goal or a purpose. He's trying to survive and escape in any way he can. And in the process of getting out, there's one point where he actually meets Gordon Freeman, or sees him jumping into the final teleporter at the end of Half-Life 1 to get to Zen. And he's trying to escape the land complex and can't, so he has to find his own Zen portal. At this point, it's very late stage Black Mesa. I mean, Gordon's in Zen. So everything is torn apart. The Race X is battling, the Black Ops are battling, the HECU are battling. Both, it is absolute hell on earth on the surface, where Adrian eventually makes his way and discovers that the Black Ops are going to detonate this thermonuclear device that he saw in friendly fire. inside of a parking garage. Being the kick-ass 22-year-old that Adrian Shephard is, he isn't going to take that. There's no way. So he enters parking garage mode and disarms the thermonuclear device, saving the Black Mesa Research Facility. Whew. So right now, he's already done more than Barney Calhoun has done. All Barney did was drink beer and crawl through vents. Adrian turns a corner and he proceeds to go down an elevator. And as he's going into this hallway, he looks out a window and he sees G-Man reactivating the thermonuclear bomb. Woo! If the pressure hadn't already reached a maximum by this point, it had now doubled upon itself and then doubled upon itself again. After fighting more Race X and Black Ops, he meets up with a security guard who tells him about a ginormous creature that is coming through.
You've got to get down below. There's something coming through, and it's the nastiest looking thing yet.
Now, what this creature is something called the Gene Worm. It's the final boss of the Half-Life Opposing Force storyline. Essentially, as the wiki describes it, it's a ginormous biological resource management creature, aka it terraforms the Earth and turns it into exactly what its homeworld looks like, essentially Race X world. Very ginormous, world-ending creature buds its way through the portal, and it had to be pissed off because right at the other end of the portal is Adrian Shephard with a little stick going and like pokes it in the eye. And the final battle of the game proceeds and takes place with Adrian Shephard utterly destroying it. And as the creature begins to explode, probably due to portal technologies inside of its belly, the whole room's about to explode, and Adrian is saved at the last second by none other than the G-Man. Adrian Shephard proceeds to reawaken inside of that V-22 Osprey. It's probably not the same one, but he's flying through the sky, and G-Man's talking to him, giving him the whole spiel, which he says that Adrian reminds him of himself, and that he's gonna have to keep him in stasis, basically, so no harm can come to him, but probably because he's a dangerous witness. And so at the end of all of that, we're left with Adrian Shephard in stasis, and I'm trying to figure out exactly to what purpose G-Man was using him, because when you look at it on paper, I mean, the Gene Worm would have been completely annihilated by the thermonuclear explosion, which happens coincidentally at the very end of the G-Man cutscene. Unless his skin is resistant to nukes and his vagina has to be open for him to be taken out. Possible. But I don't necessarily see any particular reason the G-Man needed him. I just think that the G-Man saw something in him he liked and decided to kind of oversee him and see if he was going to be a valuable asset to be maybe employed in the future. Who knows?
Speaking of the future, I got a juicy piece of information for you people.
Now, I used to be one of the developers for the unofficial Opposing Force 2 mod that was being developed. And I know a little bit of the story, and it's been so long, it's not coming out, so I don't care about spoiling too much, but essentially Opposing Force 2 took place with the fragments of the V-22 Osprey as opening a mega portal during the 7-hour war that was keeping Zen, monsters, alien, and Floric coming through to Earth. And Adrian's whole goal was to find the V-22 Osprey and take it out. There's a little bit more to it than that, and it's been so long, and all I have to remember it is off the top of my head. So it's really difficult to know what the conclusion of that was, but I'm pretty sure it was just that. All 7-hour war. This is all just from me. You didn't hear it from me. But anyways, if you have any theories or thoughts about Adrian Shephard, be sure to comment it below, and I hope you subscribe and all that if you're new to watching, because I love you. Also, huge shout out to my friend Loch Ness Mobster for writing out some of this. I kind of went off on a tangent. I was going off on my own stuff for the most part, but he wrote down some of the notes and kind of kept my brain on point. He's a YouTuber. You can go check out his channel and all that down below, I think. Go check it, all that good. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and as always,